When you look at the market of Bitcoin in general, risk assets, isn't that something that Bitcoin and risk assets need? Is QE at a fairly brisk flow, or do you feel like they don't need it as much?
Well, I think needs a strong word. I think the way I would describe it is that, at least according to our research, one of the strongest correlates with Bitcoin price action is liquidity. It's arguably the most liquidity-sensitive asset that we track, compared to
Yeah.
equities, compared to gold, compared to bonds. It's not the only variable that affects Bitcoin, but it's certainly one of the major variables. Now, historically, it's tracked more global liquidity, and that's actually been pretty good this year. So Bitcoin's kind of underperformed what you'd expect purely looking at global liquidity. However, in the US, we've had pretty tight base liquidity, and that's where a lot of the buying has come from. So without much buying globally, and with quite a bit of buying, mostly from the US institutional side, the drying up of base liquidity here in the US, I think has likely been one of the variables that weighs on it, in addition to potentially kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy around the 4-year cycle. So I do think that as we get, what is probably going to look like better base liquidity next year, all else being equal, that should be supportive of Bitcoin.